You know, lions, what are they known for? Hunting, killing, and bringing the food. They literally bring the food home so the family can eat. Once the family is done eating, then the lion eats, right? But what does he do? He kills. He kills the animal. He brings, like, basically prepares it for his family. Even animals know their roles. But let's say now you bring this animal, you cage him for 20 years, right? You've served him food, you've thrown food at him. He's literally as he pleases, you know. And now you let him back in the wildlife, and what's gonna happen to him? He's not gonna have them skills. He's not gonna know how to save himself. He's not gonna be able to fight.
You know why? Because animals have that, like, in their nature, the instinct.
No, because
they do because, like, Shugu, yeah, when I got him as a baby...
You're not helping the point.
Listen, I'm going to tell you, animals are better than people, that's my point. So, when I brought him home, he was doing this thing, like, near his food, he just go like that on the floor, and a lot of cat owners will know that the cat does this. It's a trait that they've learned from lions, that they're, like, hiding their tracks, so then the hunting animal is not going to know that they were there. Like, it's basically, he's, like, covering himself up. Now I'm thinking, who's taught him that? Because I didn't teach him that, but he knew it. It's in his instinct. When a chihuahua or something comes, these cats and whatever, they know they got to do it. No one's ever taught him. He's never seen a chihuahua, or like when an insect or something, he's running after it. But, like, that's in their nature. Whereas boys have not been, it's not in their nature, and they've not been nurtured it either. So
nurture and nature, we both of it, I feel like, from the Asian society, we failed. Oh, but you know, like Gore and that, they've, like, literally, like, oh my god, you need to see. You know, for example, if you go to like for example, when you're pregnant, you go to your pregnancy appointments and stuff like that. You'll see so many, like, you know, Gore with their, like, wives and that.
They'll be there
holding their hands and comforting them. But who's taught them that? You know who's taught them that? The society, because that's expected of them in there. It's not expected of our men to do the same. Like yoga, you know, they do like a little, like, baby yoga classes, and like they teach all sorts, you know, like they say, oh, come and we'll teach you how to feed your baby and stuff. You literally see like 5 women, and if they're like Gorianda, they'll have like all of their men will be sat with them, you know, learning how to feed the baby and stuff. They may not, I'm not saying that all of them are perfect and that all of them will, you know, imply that in their life, but they'll take the initiative to learn, because our men are shamed for that. That when they go to, like, they go to hospital, and they'll think, oh, why am I here? This is a woman's thing. When does it become a woman's thing? It's because they've been taught that from home. And
or they'll be praising the guy for staying awake all night and sitting in that chair, rather than the woman who's had the child.
Who's had the baby.
Like, there's nothing wrong with, obviously, like, if a dad changes the nappies, that's such a good thing.
That's such a good thing, yeah.
Like, why are you flipping?
Yeah, but why are we rewarding them? And why are we clapping them for it?
Yeah, what's it called? What's the phrase? Why are you praising a fish for swimming? Like,
yeah,
literally.
It's like, it's a general thing, like, but, oh yeah, so-and-so stayed awake at night, look after his kid. Oh my god, he's such a good dad. But I look after my kid. Am I such a good mum? Nobody uses that word for me, innit?
You are a good mum.
Thanks.
You are.
But
yeah, it's stuff that's obviously, like, it's been made into a woman's job. Like, looking after the house. If a man eats a meal and goes and washes his own dish, they're going to say, wow, that's such a good guy. The norm is for him to leave it there, and someone's going to pick it up. And the norm is, apparently, for the woman to just take care of the kid full time, and the guy just come and do and then flipping go to bed. Oh, he's got work in the morning. Like,
but then it's like, sometimes when you're doing, like, a lot of the couples now, and especially for this society anyways, this society requires a little modification of the marriage, and it's something nowadays, I feel like it's a societal need as well. It's a marriage that people,
but you just spit it out.
In the marriage, people do 50-50 in it, where they'll do 50-50 financially.
Right.
Financially, They'll do 50-50. But responsibility wise, it'll just be the woman that'll be doing everything.
Yeah,
She'll
it
come
seems
home
like
and cook.
they both work.
They
but
both
she has
work.
to
She has to
do the
come home
household
and
work.
do cooking and everything. But on a weekend, let's say the man be like, oh yeah, I'll help her out. And then his grandma walks in or somebody, or his dad walks in and like, Asana puttar,
Yeah.
काम भी करना तहलाल कपड़े भी सफाई भी करना ये भी करना. It doesn't, but she can do like 5 things and she'll still get judged for it. They'll still judge her. They'll say, oh but you know she didn't do this properly. आपको साहिया इसकी काम कर रहा है जिसने कुछ बच्चे नहीं संभाले उन्होंने अभी भाई इसकी को साहिया है कार बवा ना असा ते अपनी वाली कार बैठिया सा असा कोल नहीं से काम शाम होने असा ने जने तक करे नहीं से देने इन्हें this oh my god
Jenny be like, yeah, you work as well.
huh?
This day and age, the Jenny can't even flip and afford the rent.
Innit? And then the Jane say to them, on rent diyo na, tusa, right? But the Janani, if she works and she does everything, she'll come home and she'll still be judged. She'll be judged for like leaving the kid for like 1 hour at her mum's house or something.
So if like the man's role in old society and whatever is to be the sole provider, and nowadays they want women to do 50-50.
But they don't want to do the 50-50.
They don't want to do her 50.
Yeah,
they
because
want
her
her
50
to
is
do
like...
your 50 and become you two together be the provider, and then she's also the homemaker. Like, you can't do
It
that.
doesn't make sense.
It's wrong.
It's wrong.
Yeah. So, get your act together, guys. Also, so Mom said in the last podcast about like, you know, when families are trying to control the women that come into their house and say, oh, she can't wait, she can't do this, she can't do that. And then Mom said like, oh, इतने advance बंदे ना शादी ना करो, then what do you think?
Yeah. No, I think that's correct because I feel like if you have a certain type, not type, but I feel like if you have a certain sort of person that's going to fit into your household, for example, if somebody's like have a very religious family and he should then marry somebody who's very religious and who will fit perfectly into that family the way he
like
wants
if he wants
it
her
to
to
be.
wear a hijab,
If he wants her to wear a hijab, then
find
he
a
should
hijabi.
marry a hijabi.
Yeah.
Don't go out there, get the first girl that you see that is out of your league first of all,
Yeah.
and then what you do is you'll spend your forever, like you'll spend a lifetime trying to put her into
like a box.
like a box that's where she doesn't belong. The families, for instance, have the audacity to say, oh well, she you know, shadi te baad sab kuch change ho jana, whatever, you know. But like, why does it not change for the man? That is basically the nature of this conversation, that if for example you are like, you know, if you're a working man and you want a working woman, then marry a working woman. If you're a working man and you don't want to marry a working woman, you want a woman to stay at home, look after your kids and fit into that role, there's plenty, and when I mean plenty of women who'll happily quit their job, well, they might not even work, they might never worked in their life, and they're happy to take that role, then go ahead and marry them. Don't try to marry somebody
to mold
and then
them into someone that
then
they're not.
Spend your entire life and your family's spare time in discussing how you can mold her into something that she isn't, or him. Like, even like, if for example, if you're a man and you don't, like for example, you don't work and you don't have ambitions, and then you've married a very ambitious woman and you've married somebody that has a career and and now you either have to accept that she's going to be very ambitious, she's going to have her own career, and you're going to be your role is going to be a supporting husband.
Yeah.
You're going to be the, you know, like in a cast, in a film, you're going to be the supporting role.
Act,
supporting act. You're not going to be the main act. So you're going to be okay with that life, then go ahead and marry that woman. Don't marry her and then you're going to spend your whole life trying to dim her light. It's not going to work.
Break the person down.
Break her down and be like, oh my god, why is she doing this?
But I think that's more like like an ego kind of thing as well.
It is. I feel like it is.
But that's why you should find someone who matches your criteria. You're not gonna feel threatened by them.
Yeah.
But it's like,
so same goes for like the women. Obviously, if you've married somebody that has no ambition, and then you are very ambitious, you are very career like minded, and now don't, because you've married him and you know that he doesn't earn, or in that sense he can't become a millionaire now, and you can't expect him to, you know, provide in the sense that you need to be provided for. You need to know that you're going to be providing for yourself and stuff like that. So you need to be accepted in a marriage. It's very important to try to understand what works for you as a couple. It doesn't matter what, you know, his mum thinks or my mum thinks the son-in-law is supposed to be like this, or the daughter-in-law is supposed to be like this. People always end up, the relationships often end because they didn't, not that they weren't happy with that person, is because somebody else wasn't happy with them.
I feel like they get easily influenced
Yeah.
as well by other opinions. But yeah, I think it's true. If you're not on that level, then don't look for that yourself.
Yeah.
If it's going to be your whole life's mission is to bring the person down, then there's no point.
Then there's no point, because then these sort of relationships don't last.
Super religious guys want a girl to be hijabi, and then they find like someone who's obviously not.
They find somebody who isn't hijabi, who's never worn a hijab in her life, and who's like, you know, has got like a 50,000 Instagram followers or something.
Yeah, like
and
a
then
big
suddenly,
influencer,
like
and
a
now
big
she needs
influencer,
to
and
be...
then suddenly he'll be like, because you married me now, you know, so you're gonna have to. No, it's not gonna work.
But also, these things should be discussed before marriage. Like, don't marry the person if you don't agree.
Or like as simple as that, like, oh, you know what, I prefer my wife to wear a hijab. Like, once you get married to me, I would like you to delete your Instagram and be, you know, a hijabi for me. And then she'll say,
yes or no.
thank you, no, decline, and
Yeah.
you can move on from that. But if she
Yeah.
doesn't, if she's happy with it and she's like, you know what, I'll try doing it, I still feel like that's like, you know, when you're trying to give somebody, they might be very in love with you and they might say it for that time being, but you can see certain things are just not.
You just get blindsided as well and be like, they don't say anything, and then afterwards they're like, well, now you need to become a slave, and she's like, I don't know how to cook, and then then you have all these problems. So yeah, just find someone who is on the same level as you, and
who's willing to learn as well. Like, you know, sometimes like, for example, I'm giving a lot of examples. I do give a lot of examples in it. Like, if somebody's you know, might not be earning so good now, but they have you know, they've applied for loads of jobs, they have they're very switched on in that sense. They want to do something good in their life, they want to start a career, they're probably saving up a little bit of money, you know, they're gonna like think about buying like, you know, something and start up somewhat. Then just be supportive and be, you know, as long as they have the ambitious mind and you can see them that they're going towards that, you know, they are gonna someday make it big, and then that, you know, you'll be kind of reaping the rewards of what they're earning, because ultimately if they're earning good, then, you know, it's good for your family, because you're his wife and he'll bring the money home. Now, if your husband has no ambition whatsoever, like he's basically like a game, like he just wants to like just play games and all of that, like he's just at home, he wants to stay home, then some women are okay with that as well. Like, they have a little commitment and they say, look, I'll work.
It's at your own discretion if you're willing to allow someone to make those improvements in their life. If they're saying like, oh, I don't have any money right now, I don't have any work right now, but I will, and you marry them on the basis that they will, obviously you give them a chance if they're going to do it, but that's at your own thingy. Like, if you
that's like a gamble, innit?
Yeah, like you are willing to take that chance. But if they said to you, oh, I can't be asked, I never want to work, and then you expect them later, oh, he's not providing for me, but he told you he wasn't going to do it, so it's a bit sticky one. That's why it's better to find someone who is already on the same wavelength as you, and then you don't have to have that, oh, is he going to do it, is he not? And in the same way, if you want someone who's got all these house skills and know how to cook, whatever, then find someone who already can do that. If you find someone who can't cook, and then you're like, why are you not cooking? And then she's like, I'm never going to learn to cook. And then you sat there book half for the rest of your life.
He's going to be book half for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he will be. Because he chose that.
And you know why?
for
Because his
himself.
mum didn't teach him to cook for himself either.
Yeah, so if she did teach him, so there's two ways in it. It comes back to
That's
the
what I
same
mean.
thing. If she taught him how to cook, then he wouldn't be pestering her to learn how to cook. But if she didn't, she doesn't want to cook, either way, but
Yeah.
the best thing is if he knows how to cook, and then he finds a wife who knows how to cook as well.
And then they can both cook for each
Yeah,
other. That's so
exactly,
nice.
and that's
I
so
would love
nice.
that. Yeah.
And then we can just call it sunnat as well. See, religion.
That's it.
That's it. When you teach them good things, it'll come in handy. When you teach them all the bad things and how to be manipulative, how to change. Listen, tell me one auntie, that's changed her ways for her daughter-in-law. You know, what's the example that they always give? Oh, budde hoige ne nahi karan lage. Oh, yeah, Jayan.
Yeah.
Apu, they don't change nothing. But the new person that comes into their house, they want her to change everything about herself.
Can't teach your old dog new tricks.
But the old dog can teach new tricks to the,
The
new
new
dog.
dog.
But they won't, because they haven't even taught their own dog how to do the tricks.
Their own
So
dog.
when their own dog when the own dog looks at the other dog and is expecting the dog to do the tricks, and the both of the dogs don't know how to do the tricks. So
The old dog. What's that?
the old dog then
And they be looking at each other's faces.
old dog and the old dog's own dog they be looking at each other's faces because the new dog doesn't know how to do the tricks.
It is the new
That
dog.
the old dog didn't teach the new dog.
And the new dog doesn't know how to do the dishes. Buy
Get the
cat
dog a
instead.
dishwasher.
Yeah, so that's the crap. In conclusion, society
Is a dog.
is a dog that can't learn new tricks. You need to learn the new tricks. You teach the new tricks to your kids and improve
Yeah.
your
And change the society for the
break
better.
break the
Generational curse. Yes.
from the dogs. So then, society, it's very
Toxic.
toxic. I was gonna say something else then.
We discussed how a girl should be able to have stability and education just in case, and we should prepare our boys to learn the skills of women at home. And that doesn't mean that he needs to know how to clean up and all of that. These are basic skills. These are survival skills. You don't need to learn how to cook, learn how to clean. These are survival. Like if for example my boy went away to uni and he wasn't studying here but he was elsewhere, am I gonna go and every now and then I'll probably go over and give him like a little bit of packed food here and there. But it's a skill I would teach him, like just before he goes off to uni. I'd say, oh Putter, come here, I'll teach you a few dishes that you like. Maybe I'll show you how to put the noodles on, and these are basic skills. He'll need to know them to survive. It's not to he needs to know that one day he needs to be a woman or whatever. That's not the case. He needs to know that these are basic skills. But emotionally, men need to be prepared for things that will happen after marriage. Our society, in our Asian society, a lot of pressure is put on women to kind of pick up and get on with life and do all the extra bits and bobs. And the men, on the other hand, they've not been, I wouldn't say not been taught. People don't see it as a very important thing to teach men this skill of you should be able to cook, you should be able to clean, you should be able to turn the laundry on. It's a simple task. Whilst you're teaching your daughters, why not teach your sons the same thing? So if they know that, it'll just make your life easier, because when they're little, if your sons are cleaning up and your daughters are cleaning up, it's making your household chores better. And then when your sons are a little bit older, they'll then help their wives, and it will make their life a little bit easier. So why are we not thinking about that rather than putting them in this? Because we as society have put them in these roles. That's not how their roles are. Islamically, they're not anyways. If you're talking about that, then they're not, are they?
So yeah, guys, teach your kids.
The tricks.
Yeah, teach boys how to communicate healthy. Teach women how to be educated in case they need to be the man, and just live life. Forget society.
Yeah, and let them live. So what? Big deal.
Yeah.
You walk into your son's house and he's clean up, and that's a good thing.
That's great.
Just say in a positive way. Say, yeah, putter, good thing that
Positive
you're doing good.
enforcement. And
Do what you want in your house.
People who are telling you about all these stereotypes. Oh, why you changing your kid's nappy? Blah blah blah. It's your kid. You should do it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's a dad or it doesn't matter if it's. Well, our dad did that, didn't he? Like.
I don't know. It wasn't.
He used to feed us, clean us, and stuff like that. My mum worked and my dad worked. They both worked. They both did everything.
Whatever
together.
works for you.
Whatever works for
don't
you
let
as a
people
couple.
Get into
Yeah.
your marriages and your lives.
And don't let the don't let the new dog not to tell the old dog all the things.
Yeah. Don't let the old dog try to tell you about new tricks because he doesn't know himself. So guys, I hope you enjoyed our podcast and our discussion. If you have any topics that you'd like us to discuss or any anything, then comment below. And Zara, any last words?
That's it really, what you said. But if there's anything that we've said that's you
Wrong.
find wrong and offensive,
Then we're not sorry.
then we don't care.
That sounds like a you problem.
Yes.
That means
you don't know the tricks.
you don't know the new tricks around here. And yeah, then we'll see you in some other podcast.
It's unfiltered, guys. It's our
Yeah.
family. We can't be
We
have
can't
to be the
controlled.
truth.
The truth.
We're the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
Yes.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Dil Diyan
Goodbye.
Gallan. And we'll see you later.
See you later. Bye.
Bye bye.